Within industry, we find that slip, trips, and falls come in the top 1, 2, or 3 ranking of their largest quantity of injuries and their largest loss of work days. So with the slip simulator, we're trying to create an environment that's relatable to the employees or to the trainees. So in doing so, we've designed a system that we can change that topography of the surface. We can raise tiles, we can tilt tiles, we can do things to create step overs and step ups and slanted surfaces.
The technique with slip simulator training really focuses on the biomechanics of the human body. So what happens when someone's walking on slippery surfaces like the slip simulator is when there's very little friction, very little coefficient of friction on that floor surface, as soon as your foot is out of your base of support during walking, there's no frictional force to resist that foot moving forward. So what happens is after a few steps, you might hit a slippery patch and all of a sudden your front foot goes out in front of you and all of a sudden, well, usually all of a sudden you realize you're on your back before you realize what even happened. It happens so quickly. The technique that we have and has been in constant development since the beginning of the company really focuses on taking short steps, keeping your head up, standing up straight, keeping all of your body mass. You really want it centered over your feet.
So keeping your center of gravity over your feet, shortening your steps, but also trying to get as much surface area on the ground as possible. So the entire flat foot, not a heel to toe. And what that does is you no longer have to push off anymore. And so you're just transferring your weight from foot to foot, which doesn't rely on friction anymore and therefore reduces that slip.
This system is designed to engage people, and it is a fun training. It's important, it's fun, and it engages other people so they get to participate in the challenges sometimes themselves. And so when they get off of it, it's one of the most valuable trainings you'll ever do because it is a fun training.
There was a government study where we found a reduction of up to 70% of slip, trips, and falls for people that have been on the simulator, and another 30% reduction for those that just observed that. We've had clients now that consistently have said greater than 50% reduction year after year.
After training thousands of people in the slip simulator, it still amazes me that every time we do the training, there's always several people in the group that are going through that you can just kind of see that spark, that light bulb light up as soon as they get the technique. They'll start out kind of all over the place, slipping and sliding. Maybe they'll even do another pass and they're still slipping and sliding, but then once we get them to do that technique, they go across and you'll just see it like all of a sudden they go from completely out of control to completely in control in almost an instant. And you can see it on their face too. And sometimes it's as little as saying, you're almost there, maybe pick your head up or something like that, and they pick it up and they go, oh, I get it now, I get it. And it really gives them that confidence, right? So it's not only the technique in itself, but it's also them being able to practice it and get that confidence so then they can say, I can do this. I find myself in a situation I don't want to be in and I need to get out of it. I know what to do and I can do it.